Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Renu. Yeah, it was a long weekend for sure, 4 days off, and many of you might have enjoyed. I had great time. I had 4 days straight off from my office, so yeah, it was a gala moment for me and my family. Yeah, so this was a little disappointing for those who are still in the process of getting, PR confirmation portal, especially when you are so close. I can certainly relate to that. To be honest with you, today's progress was not very enthusiastic. The number of rollouts what we have here, it's really not motivating. It's just a couple of them, and I'll be talking in detail about each and every case with you all. Before that, in case if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can certainly do that. And if you are at a stage where you haven't received any feedback from IRCC, the only things I can suggest to you is raise a web form with your concerns. That way you might get a response from IRCC, and this exactly has happened, helped a lot of candidates. So you can certainly do that. Secondly, you can go for a GCMS note. To be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend strongly for GCMS notes because that would put you on hold for another month time period, and that again with cost attached to it, you are going to pay to IRCC to get the notes. So it's better to raise a web form and just wait for the decision. Okay, this is the first timeline from one of my subscribers, Stream B case, where he has applied on July 7th, and then he got the BIL, so biometric, biometric instruction letter, and you cannot go through it biometric unless and until you have that letter in your hand. And within a day time period, he got the AOR. So he got the BIL on April 12th, and then April 13th was the time when he got the AOR. And within 3 days time he was able to link up the application. There was no ADR. So if you see here, the IELTS, medicals, PCC, that was all done last year, and it was all submitted at the time of case filing. So in case if all the documents are in sync with the requirements, you definitely don't need to worry about the ADR. So in this case, he's likely to get the PR confirmation portal very soon, maybe in a week's time period, or it may take up to 4 weeks. Generally speaking, under Stream B and Stream A, you're likely to get the PR confirmation portal within a gap of, say, 2 to 4 weeks time period from the stage of receiving the AOR. That may take 6 weeks or maybe 8 weeks. It's very very rare, but most of the time you will get it through within 4 weeks time. However, in case of IG stream, based upon the current trend, you're likely to get the PR confirmation portal within 4 to 6 weeks time period. However, there have been cases where some of the candidates were able to get the PR confirmation portal within 5 days of receiving the AOR. So that totally is IRCC visa officer decision. Nobody can predict and nobody can foresee that situation. So yeah, just fingers crossed. Okay, another timeline under Stream A. This is of Ber, August 3rd. He got the AOR on December 9th. Now, if you see here, he was able to link up the application on December 2nd. Like the first week of December was the time when he got the AOR and link up process, and towards the end of the month, which is to be precise, on December 31st, he got the ADR for IMM 5669. It was all submitted, and that's how he was able to get the ghost update on January 14th. Now, if you see here, like from January till April, almost like a gap of, I would say like 4 months time period, and today he was able to get the ECOPR. So this is very rare, but there could be situation where he must have not shared the details, like was he asked to submit any other ADR. So that could be the possibility. Also, maybe the assigned visa officer is trying to evaluate and taking his own sweet time in making sure that this application should be accepted and should have met all the requirements, as per the guidelines. Okay, this is Krupa's timeline again under Stream A. There are not many rollouts under IG stream. There's one more I'll be talking after this. So this is Stream A again, October 30th under NOC 4412, and he has applied for the study permit. So the study permit was actually active during the time of file submission. He received the TFN through a local MP. Now there's one reason, like one way is to get the TFN number by calling the IRCC, and I've explained the few steps in my previous video. However, you can also approach MP. I don't know whether it's feasible for you or not, but you can definitely give it a shot. So he received the TFN on April 1st, and thereafter, like within 15 days time period, he got the ADR for IMM 5406 form, like additional family information. So usually they ask you or to you have to validate that information, because once you get the PR, you are going to sponsor your parents or your family members, so the information what you enter there should be accurate, so that should not create any kind of a fuss or a problem in the future. Thereafter, he got the link up process, that's yesterday. So link up can be done even on weekends, so that doesn't make much of a difference. So just give it a shot. Keep trying to link up your application. That's the best way, and I've explained the whole process how you can do it. By linking up, it's very easy for you to access, whatever is going on under your file. Sometimes when you link up, you might get the ADR under that portal itself, which some of the candidates might miss if they are not trying. So try to link up your application with the things I have already explained in the video, and I'm going to attach the link in the description box below here. So with that, you'll be able to see if there's an ADR for PCC or for IELTS or for any additional family information. And if you see that it's still there and you have surpassed the number of days, that's allotted you to submit that, you can always make a requisition and request IRCC to accept the information, even if it's in a delayed timeline. Okay, another timeline is of Smita under IG stream here. Now, she has applied on May 6th at 10:45 p.m. This is a timeline from the application, like from the file submission to PR card. So she was able to link up the application on January 6th, and then AOR was received on January 9th itself. Now, if you see here that there was an ADR, like additional document requisition for Schedule A on March 8th. So it took visa officer almost 2 months to evaluate and assess whether he needs the ADR or not. So this took him like almost 2 months to come up with that. And then thereafter, there is a PR confirmation portal on March 16th. And if you see here that immediately within a week time period, he got the ECO PR. So he linked up the application, like the PR card, and that's how he got the information, like when exactly the PR card was shipped. That was on April 13th. And I always advise, when you receive the ECO PR, try to link up your card so you'll be able to get the whereabouts of your PR card, when exactly they are dispatching you, when are you going to get that. And if you're traveling during that time, like for say if you've received the ECO PR while you were physically present out here in Canada, and now you're traveling your family back there in India or to your native country, just make sure that if you are have an extended plan out there to stay back for another 2 or 3 months, you can also provide the same address of that country. Like for say in India, if you're going to plan to stay in Chandigarh, you can provide the address of Chandigarh so that the PR card could be dispatched out there, and then you'll be able to travel with your PR card from Chandigarh to Canada. So he was able to receive the PR card today. Now, in this case, there are a couple of things I want to discuss, and many of you might have the same thing. In case if you're switching your job, you don't have to notify IRCC right away. I would recommend just wait for the next action. So if you have switched the job, even in a different sector or with a different company, doesn't make a difference. The eligibility says that you need to be working at the time of file submission. Even if you are without a job sitting back home, you don't have to worry about that. Your application won't get rejected because you were meeting the eligibility criteria. So at the time of file submission, you're supposed to mention that the number of hours, that's 1,560 hours in past 3 years, irrespective to whether part-time or full-time. If you were able to attain that, you don't need to worry about even a single thing. Now, in case you have switched and IRCC has asked you for the pay stubs, always remember to attach whatever you have done at the time of case filing. Also, if there has been any progress or if there has been any update in your profile, if you have got promoted or if you got through a different branch or a different company, certainly during that time you can update the information with supporting documents. So the supporting documents would include the pay stubs of your current employment, and then employment letter and the proof from your employer itself, including the documents what you submitted at the time of case filing. I hope that makes sense. The only thing you have to keep in mind that your information should be up to date and there should not be any flaw. And if you find any information is incomplete, just make sure that you update that information in a timely manner. Now, surprisingly, this was the last timeline, and there are not many rollouts after Easter. So probably tomorrow or maybe day after, we are going to get good number of AORs and ECOPR, and I'll be happy to discuss more in detail with you. So you can always subscribe for more updates. Stay safe. Take care.